My students asked me today, guys, how old are you since it's your birthday? I told them I was 32, and they all started laughing. Thank you, Matt Cave, with the $10 donation. This is the way. No worries, Arlena. We're in our prime, girl. Not tonight. Thank you, John. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you, Cred Sox, for the $2 super chat. Happy birthday, Coach. You're so sweet. Right back at you, my friend. Thank you very much. My friend Bello. Very kind. That's funny, Matt. This song is the remix from Doom Eternal. He's here! The legendary Tron. He fights for the users. Two-minute warning. Thank you, Daryl. Been working hard on this, man. Thank you, Darth Arlena. I'll spread it out. I'll go get me a big cup of coffee for you. Since you're older than me and all. Are you guys ready? Are you? I know that I am. The best show on YouTube that nobody knows about yet. It's right here on Echo Base TV, and it's because of you. You. Echo Base TV, where community happens. Let's go ahead and do this. Thank you so much for being here. It is my birthday, and I will be coming back at the end of the stream to hang out right here for a few minutes and we can debrief. Last week we debriefed. We all met and gathered over on Discord. So tonight we'll do it right here. We'll do it live. So, all right, guys, here we go. Without further ado, here is the best community on YouTube. You guys, let's go.
Fade in Monday night, Echo Base TV. And now to introduce our hosts. Coach. He's had a lot of coffee tonight. He's a little wild. And here comes Nick. He needs some coffee. We got to wake him up. But as always, it's going to be a great night. And as Coach likes to say, let's go.
Hello, and welcome to Coffee on Korriban. Today is going to be quite a different video than normal. I will in fact not be talking about Star Wars here on Korriban. We will be going out and about. I'm going to be basically giving into my addiction. And my addiction is Del Taco. If you've ever eaten Del Taco, you probably think I'm a psycho. And if you haven't eaten Del Taco, it's a fast food place and you probably still think I'm a psycho. But back when we lived in California, I would eat there probably 4 or 5 times a week, maybe more. But since moving out to Tennessee, I haven't had an opportunity because there is no Del Taco here in Tennessee. So we are actually road tripping 2.5 hours one way to get to Del Taco so I can satisfy this desire. Ready to go? Okay. We're gonna load up in the car and we're gonna get on the road and go get me some fast food. But I haven't had this since January, so I'm really excited. Alright, we are now in the car, and we've been going for about 30 minutes, and hopefully the audio levels are okay because we are in the car, and I hope there's not too much road noise. But joining me for this video, I have Mrs. Korriban. So if nothing else, leave a like for Mrs. Korriban.
Wait, what am I doing?
You're saying hi.
Hi. Hello, and welcome to Coffee on Korriban on the car. Coffee on a Korriban.
That's pretty bad.
So we are going to be doing some trivia, Star Wars trivia, and now we are taking the exit. That was the exit.
That was the exit.
That sure was. Trivia question number 1. What year did they start filming episode 5?
What year did the filming for Empire Strikes Back start? That was the question? Oh gosh. 79? Was it 79? Oh, cool. Alright, question for you is... the leader of the Gungans, what is his name?
Wait, the big guy? When they had gone underwater and everything, and they were in that big bubble,
yeah.
and...
The shaking the face guy.
Senor Gungan? You don't like this guy.
No, I don't like
He was on your top Boss Nass or something?
Boss Nass, you got it.
Yeah.
Good job.
That's right. What is the voice actor's name for C-3PO?
Is it Anthony something?
Yep.
Anthony... I don't know why I want to keep saying Anthony Green, but that's the singer of Circus Survive. Anthony Daniels.
Yep.
Okay. Alright, question for you. On which planet does Obi-Wan Kenobi fight General Grievous?
This is so bad because I know this.
Tech says it in the Bad Batch.
Hold on. Udapon.
You give up?
Udapoo? I'm just kidding.
Close.
I'm close?
You're really close. It's not Udapoo.
I'm teasing about that.
Udapau.
Yeah, I wouldn't have remembered that. What is the name of the man who created the Star Wars theme song?
The legendary John Williams. Alright, another planet question for you. On what planet did Obi-Wan duel with Anakin?
Mustafar? Mustafar? It was the place where it was his Darth Vader's place, isn't that? No?
Where his castle is?
Yeah.
You got it.
Did I say? Yeah. Why are you making me sound? You did the look like I just said the wrong thing.
No, you got it.
How did Mark Hamill get his scar? And which movie did he get that during?
I believe it was before Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
And wasn't it a motorcycle accident?
It was a car accident.
A car accident, okay.
It could have been a motorcycle, but it says car.
And they created the Wampa scene where he got attacked by the Wampa to cover for the fact that his face looked different. Is that right? Okay. Omega is one of the newest characters in the Star Wars universe. That implies that there was a codenamed Alpha. Who was Alpha?
Boba Fett?
Yeah. Got it.
Cool. What is the name of the Wookiees' homeworld?
Kashyyyk, also pronounced Kashyyyk, which is not right. It should not be pronounced Kashyyyk ever. How long did the Clone Wars last?
Was it more than 8? Was it 4? Wait, I'm confused.
I'll give it to you at 4 because it was the start of the 4th year. The Clone Wars lasted 3 full years, basically.
Oh, okay. I was originally going to say 4 years, but then I thought, man, this is probably a lot longer.
Yeah, it wasn't actually that long of a war.
What is the creature that lives in the garbage compactor of the original Death Star?
Yeah, I don't know that. What does it start with? A D? Yeah, I have no idea. You're gonna have to.
D-I.
I don't know.
G-I-A-N-O-G-A.
Dianoga?
Yep.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known that. Sad to say, I should know that.
Now you do.
Speaking of creatures, what is the octopus-looking creature in Rogue One that tortures Bodhi Rook?
Is this something I should know, or not many people know?
It's in your brain somewhere. You've heard of it.
Yeah. Oh, man. Wait, the octopus creature in Rogue One, what scene was that?
Let me get you the first word.
Yeah.
Boar.
Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, I have no idea.
Boar gullet.
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't remember that. Boar gullet. What is the meaning of the ancient Hebrew lettering written on Darth Vader's chest piece?
Oh. First off, I didn't know there was any Hebrew lettering on Vader's chest piece. As to what it means, it have something to do with like destroyer or evil one or something?
It's a sentence.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. I have no idea.
His deeds will not be forgiven until he merits.
His deeds will not be forgiven until he merits?
Yeah.
That's an amazing piece of trivia that I had no idea of.
I wonder, is this true? Is this true?
I don't know. That's
it sounds pretty legit.
Put down in the comments right now if any of you have ever heard that, because that's really interesting. I don't know. I've never heard anything about that. All right, last question. What Japanese film director did George Lucas draw inspiration from?
Is this like a live action Japanese filmmaker, or does he make... Okay.
We watched Revenge of the Sith Extended Edition in blank mode.
Oh, oh man. I was just telling somebody about this. I know. Kuwasaki.
No.
Miyazaki? Kurosawa.
Yes.
Kurosawa.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, that was a tough one. That makes it even cooler, the fact that they had put the extended version in that.
Kurosawa mode?
Yes! That makes it so much more awesome. I didn't realize that.
It's called for a solo mode.
Yeah, I thought they just did that for fun. I didn't realize. Last question for you. How many engines does the X-Wing fighter have?
That would be 4, right? Yeah.
In the first Death Star, what detention block was Princess Leia being held in?
I should know this. Yeah, I give up. I don't know.
AA-23.
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
Yeah, that's why it's a trivia question. Nobody knows.
All right, well, we don't have too much longer of a drive. What was that? All right, well, we don't have too much farther, so we are going to see you when we get to Del Taco. You know I'm happy. Yeah. Oh, I'm about to drop some coin.
Hello. If I can do a double Del cheeseburger, crispy chicken stuffed quesadilla taco, a chipotle chicken roller bold, and a macho fry.
Well, we're here. It is a very surreal feeling, and it feels comfortable, like I'm home, but at the same time, it doesn't feel like I've left. It feels like I've been here the entire time, and I was just here a day or two ago. It's a very strange feeling, but I don't know. This place is special for me. I don't know why. I can't explain it. I'm looking forward to eating, that's for sure. And this is only order of 1 of 2. So I will be buying a bunch to bring back to Tennessee. Blow on it. All right, Daddy's first bite. No other fries compare in the entire world to these Del Taco fries. Nowhere. They're so good.
Beautiful.
Yeah?
Worth.
As good as you remember?
It was worth it.
Yeah, worth the drive?
Worth the drive.
Well, thank you for watching. We are headed home now. Definitely, absolutely worth it. Will we be going back? Absolutely. Don't you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was so worth it. It was so much better than I remembered, and I was just elated the entire time I was in the room. So,
What are you drinking?
I got my coffee because coffee on Caravan wouldn't be the same just without coffee. So, if you've made it this far in the video, I really appreciate your time, and I will see you wherever I happen to see you in the galaxy.
You're traveling through another channel. A channel not only of sight and sound, but of content. A journey into a stream whose boundaries are that of imagination. You see a link up ahead. Your next click, EchoBase TV. The The Empire Strikes Back is not only my favorite Star Wars film, but it also features my favorite battle in the entire saga. Every time I watch this scene, I would imagine what was it like to be a hero for the rebellion. Well, that dream came true in the form of video games in the early 1980s.
You saw Luke Skywalker battle the Imperial Walkers. Now bring the battle home. The Force was with Luke Skywalker. Will it be with you? Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back video game.
Alright, I know. She might not look like much, but she's got it where it counts, kid. In the early 80s, the Atari 2600 was the home video game console that everyone wanted. And once this cartridge was in, the couch became the cockpit of my snowspeeder, and I was on my way to defend Echo Base. And this was the first time I had ever heard music from one of my favorite films in a video game. I was Luke Skywalker leading the rebels into battle against the Empire. And throughout the 80s, this game was the perfect way to live out that fantasy. But as we rolled into the 90s and video games were changing, it was time for us as the players to change too. It was time for us to start playing with power.
What's it like to play the Nintendo Entertainment System? Nintendo Entertainment System. Now you're playing with power.
The NES let me play as Luke Skywalker, ride a Tauntaun, fight Imperial probe droids, take on a Wampa with a lightsaber, and more. But the moment of truth had finally arrived. The Imperial Walkers were on their way. The moment this level started, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I was in full control of the snowspeeder, with a backdrop and a foreground of the planet Hoth. And then the first walker appeared. And this time, lasers weren't my only weapon. We were finally able to use the tow cable to take down the walkers. Taking down that first walker felt amazing. The graphics in this level alone were unlike any I had ever seen before. The walkers looked incredible, fully animated as they made their way towards Echo Base. And it was so easy to just pick up and play because the basic gameplay style from the Atari 2600 version remained intact. Using the tow cable was one of the biggest game changers, but the ammo was limited, so pretty soon I was going to have to rely on just my speeder cannons. Well, at least that's what I thought. Suddenly I was on foot again, and it turned out there was another way to take down these walkers. We could actually destroy the walker exactly how Luke did in the movie. And to my knowledge, as far as I know, this is the only video game that ever allowed you to do that. Once I realized that you could do this, I actually got shot down on purpose just so that I could do it again. In the first few years of the 90s, I replayed this level more times than I could count. And while I was replaying this game every time I watched The Empire Strikes Back, technology was changing rapidly in the 90s, especially when it came to video games. It wouldn't be long before the battle for Hoth was taken to the next level.
You still don't have a Sega CD? What are you waiting for? Nintendo to make one? You have seen the games, right? Wrong answer, man. Show 'em! Want to see more?
Rookie 1, come in.
Return at once. Imperial walkers have been spotted near the outer perimeter. We're beginning to evacuate, but we need time.
I copy, Control. I'm on my way.
Star Wars Rebel Assault was released on the Sega CD in 1993. And like most Sega CD games, it featured full motion video with CD quality audio. This time around, we didn't take control of Luke Skywalker or any of the main characters from the films. Instead, we play as a nameless character simply known as Rookie 1.
Arm yourself, guns? Now, follow me.
Rebel Assault used an on-rail shooter style, primarily seen in arcades at the time. This allowed the game to be story-driven, as it told its own story set within the major events within the original trilogy. For the most part, all you were truly in control of was your crosshair and firing, but occasionally you'd get an option to choose which way to go. You fight a single Imperial walker in this level, and that walker is highlighted by a lighter color than all the rest. The goal is to target and shoot each light-colored panel until the entire walker is turned to its classic color of gray. Sadly, the option to fire a tow cable, or even crash land your snowspeeder, jump out, and zip line up to the walker to take him out just like Luke Skywalker did, those options were gone. But that didn't stop me from replaying this game over and over and over. The full motion video, the CD quality audio, this was the first time I truly felt like I was in control of the movie. Eventually you hit all of your targets, and you're treated to a cutscene of the walker falling face first into the snow.
Oh, great shooting. Now let's go home.
I didn't have a Super Nintendo as a kid. I had the Sega and the Sega CD, so I missed out on Super Star Wars, Super Empire Strikes Back, and Super Return of the Jedi. I did get to play every once in a while when I went to a cousin's house or a friend's house, but for the most part, I didn't really get to experience these games when they were new. But from what I did get to see, especially the Battle on Hoth, these games looked amazing. I was, however, getting into PC gaming at the time, and because of that, I was able to experience one of the best expanded universe stories being created at that time, and it was known as Shadows of the Empire.
I've seen pulse cannons and gladiator droids. I've seen Beggar's Canyon and Imperial sewers. I've seen dead ends and infinite space. I've seen 360 degrees of tomorrow, and for once, live to tell about it. Because I've got the ultimate fighting machine.
Shadows of the Empire was a unique experience for Star Wars fans. And that was because this story wasn't just being told in video games. It was also being told in novels and comic books as well.
Captain, I've established contact with the rebel outpost.
On the video game side, this game was heavily promoted for Nintendo's newest system, the Nintendo 64, when it released in 1996. Me not having an N64, I waited one more year and started my experience with Shadows of the Empire on the PC. Besides the noticeable difference in graphics, The biggest difference between the two versions was that the PC featured fully animated cutscenes that told a deeper story. It was no longer just about playing a game. We were an audience invested in a story. At the time, it felt like we had just received a brand new Star Wars film.
But it's been quite some time since you've flown an airspeeder in combat.
And this game wasted no time getting to the level that would be my favorite level in the entire game. Because wouldn't you know it, the very first level is the battle for Hoth.
Rogue group, we need to give our transports time to escape. Take out those Imperial
Shadows of the Empire starts during the events of Empire Strikes Back, then eventually worked its way beyond the film into events between Empire and Return of the Jedi. You take control of the story's main character, Dash Rendar. He was on a secret mission helping Princess Leia assist the rebel forces, and ends up finding himself smack in the middle of a major conflict between the rebellion and the Empire. Each level is broken up by multiple objectives, usually about taking down certain targets. In the Battle of Hoth, we deal with probe droids, scout walkers, and then the Imperial walkers. With a full 360-degree view, you are in full control of your snowspeeder as you fly across this battlefield.
Try using your harpoon and tow cables on the AT-AT over the lakes. It might be our only chance of stopping them.
The tow cable was back, and this time you had unlimited ammo and full control over using it. It was up to you to tie up these walkers yourself. That wasn't always easy. While you try to master your flight controls and tie up these walkers, any and all remaining enemies are still firing at you while you attempt this. The cool thing though was, while you're wrapping up the walker, you can still fire also, so if you aim just right, you could take out some enemies while you're doing this. More and more enemies fill the battlefield as you go, but your objective stays the same. Clear out as many Imperial forces as you can before they reach the shield generator. The visuals were stunning and the music was right out of the films. This was by far the most immersive video game I had ever played based on the Star Wars universe. Every moment felt like it was right out of the movie, and hearing Luke Skywalker talk to you over the comms made it even better. And once you get a hang of the controls, you start taking down these walkers like a pro. But no matter how good you get at taking down Imperial walkers, we all know how this battle is going to end. As the journey through Shadows of the Empire came to an end, a new developer joined forces with LucasArts. Their intent was to bring flight and combat set in the Star Wars galaxy to a new level. Enter Factor 5. Just like Shadows of the Empire, Rogue Squadron was heavily promoted on the N64. But I wouldn't own a Nintendo 64 until I was an adult, So again, the PC version was the way to go for me. The game was set during and in between major events of the films. There were so many levels to choose from with so many different environments. But as far as I was concerned, there was really only one level I was looking for.
The transports can't escape unless the probe droids are gone.
The game had a familiar look and feel, but this time we had enhanced flight controls and far more detail in the environments. And for the first time since the X-Wing series, we could jump back into the cockpit view. Adding the first-person perspective took the immersion factor to a whole new level. And the battlefields themselves were far larger than we had seen in prior entries. Being able to explore Hoth from the seat of your snowspeeder was, well, it was pretty cool. But it wouldn't be long before the Imperial walkers started their assault on Echo Base. So what do we have to work with this time around as we defend Echo Base? We still have our laser cannons on our snowspeeder, which are very effective against the scout walkers. When it comes to the Imperial walkers, we're back to using the tow cables. And just like in Shadows of the Empire, it is a manual process that takes some time to get used to the controls. It gets a little tricky, and sometimes you even find yourself crashing into debris left behind from the vehicles you destroyed before. The biggest change introduced into this battle was your squadron itself. This time around, you actually have a team actively assisting you with your objective. Having your squadron with you throughout the battles would become a staple for the Rogue Squadron series.
One more pass. Cable out. Let her go.
The battle intensifies, and eventually the walkers are practically on top of the shield generator, as we head closer and closer to the inevitable conclusion.
Cable out. Let her go.
Good work, Rogue Squadron. The base has been evacuated. We'll meet you at the rendezvous point. And Luke, the Falcon made it out all right. Don't do anything foolish like running off to Dagobah.
It's been quite a journey so far as we played through the Hoth battle during the 80s and the 90s. So many developments over that time, with different developers assisting with LucasArts properties, and seeing this battle evolve as the years went on. It brought us closer and closer to truly living the film itself. And when we return for part 2, we're going to jump into a new console generation where Factor 5 not only met expectations, they exceeded them.
All wings report in. Red 10 standing by.
Red 7 standing by.
Red 3 standing by. Red 6 standing by. Red 9 standing by.
Red 2 standing by.
Red 11 standing by.
Red 5 standing by.
Blockade 4 is in attack position.
Too many of them.
Welcome to Echo Base TV, guys, where community happens.
Good evening, everyone. This is Grand Admiral Thrawn coming to you once again directly from the Chimera with another urgent message. We hope you enjoy tonight's stream on Echo Base TV, and I would encourage you, make sure you subscribe to every channel you see featured here tonight. So if you see content during tonight's broadcast that you find to be entertaining. Be sure to subscribe to its creator. Now enjoy the show, and welcome to Echo Base TV, where community happens.
Hello everyone, Ted the Old Star Wars Nerd here on Ebn TV, and today I got something special for you. I'm going to go over two of my toys in my collection, one Star Wars toy and one non-Star Wars toy. Might do this each week and just kind of go over my collection and document it for posterity, you know? So first off, let's see, the first thing this week I'm going to talk about is the old Kenner TIE Fighter. Now, trigger warning for all you collectors out there. My stuff is not in pristine condition. I have not even bothered to try taking care of this stuff over the year. This stuff is from my childhood. I played the hell out of these toys. They are still covered in dirt and grime and who knows what else from my childhood. So, just be warned if you're one of those that hates to see Star Wars stuff not being taken care of. I know there's a few people out there like that, because I've had a few look at my stuff and get kind of shocked that I don't have it in such pristine condition. But anyway, with that being said, the TIE Fighter from Kenner. Now, you'll look at this, and yeah, it's missing stickers. The stickers are peeling off. I've got a lot of them still on the shelf down there. But I might... a lot of the stickers still. But, they're kind of old and they're faded now, and they're discolored. So I think I'm probably going to make a whole new set of stickers one of these days. Clean this up with some I forget what they call that stuff, the little bright stuff that you clean up old toys with. Maybe restore it a little bit. This thing's been through hell and back. You can see on it all the dirt that's caked into all the little corners and crevices. And probably a little mouse wear on the sticker there. Probably a mouse got to it on the inside, on the closet sometime. And here's the bottom of it. This is the battery pack. You open this up, and this is where your AA batteries go. So, and I do not have any in there, as you can see right now. And then you put them in there, and this is the button right here that you push down while you're flying it to make the noise and to light up the little laser light right there. So you'd open up the cockpit. This little chair goes up and down just a hair, not much, just enough to give it a little action, just to say, that it does something. That's where the pilot, of course, sits, and you can see down inside there, I had dropped so many guns and things down there, and you can sit here and shake the damn thing and try to get the parts back out of it. But then you get to the wings. Now, anybody that's had these might know that, the wings pop up. There's two little buttons right there and right there. Right there and right there. That when you're flying it, you push one, that wing pops off. You push this one, that wing pops off. Simulates battle damage, And they're spring-loaded and blah, blah, blah in there. Over time, though, these things start not staying in. So you can see this one. This is so roughed up and so beat up from years of abuse. And this is actually the top. It's supposed to go in like this. There's supposed to be a little pin in there that it catches, but it's all broke off and wore out. And that happens after a while. So what you end up doing when you're a kid, you just turn them upside down and jam them in there, and they stay. They don't pop off anymore, but at least they're in there and you can still play with it. And, like I say, this one's the same way. Same way. It's just stuck in there upside down so it'll stay. And this poor little thing's been through so much trouble and abuse. The abuse, you want to talk about abuse. Okay, me and my cousin was a big Star Wars fan with me back then. We both had TIE Fighters, we both had X-Wings, and we would get, one of each. We'd go to my mom's bed. My mom had this huge king-size bed. We would stand on each side of it. We were, 12, 13. We weren't that big. And we would stand on each side of my mom's bed. We'd take these things. He'd have, like say I'd have a TIE Fighter, he'd have an X-Wing, and we'd throw them at each other. And would let them crash into each other over my mom's bed, and fall down, and land on the bed. That way they had a soft landing. we didn't really care about them crashing together in the middle of the air and breaking parts, as long as they had a soft landing, you know? So we broke so many damn X-Wings doing that. TIE fighters are tough. These are tough little toys. They don't break too well. I'm surprised this didn't broke. This thing popped out a few times. I've had to take it apart and put that back in. I fixed the motor in it a few times when I was a kid. You know, things like that. But yeah, we would sit here and just throw these things at each other. I'll show you. These aren't my X-Wings that I have, but I'll show you them in another video one day. But anyway, so there's a TIE fighter, my old TIE fighter from my childhood. This thing has been through so much hell. What was that? Is that blood? That's probably blood. Probably kid blood still on my damn toys. Anyway, TIE fighter from Kenner. Alright, so now to the non-Star Wars toy. Okay, I've had this one almost as long as those. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. It came out a few years afterwards, but this is Battlestar Galactica Cylon Centurion. He hides back on my back shelf, usually around the corner back behind Darth Vader and all these back in there. So he's been sitting there, and this guy, he's been through the legs, they move, they just pop right off. They just, I mean, they don't even stay on him anymore, hardly. So I got a rubber band holding his legs on. You'd put, in the back here, you'd put AA batteries, and you could push this down, and it would make noise. His eye would light up and go back and forth. You can't really see it because it's not lit up. And the chest piece would light up. And he had his gun here. It used to have a piece of plastic sticking out that kind of looked like a small little lightning bolt type thing that would light up. So that would happen. So he's a cool little old guy from 1978, 79. My little Cylon Centurion I've had forever. And he's got this little radio pack and things on his back. They didn't really have the backpacks in the TV show, but you got to have a place for him to put his batteries, I guess. But this cape here, this cape is all I have left of my 12-inch Darth Vader. That poor old thing. At first, his helmet would start coming off, so I'd have a Darth Vader with his helmet would come off and on and off, and then I don't know whatever happened to him. And yeah, so all I got left is Darth Vader's cape. So I figured, why not let the Cylon Centurion wear it? He's kind of looks like Vader, and that's what they were supposed to be made to be like. So there you go. Cylon Centurion from Battlestar Galactica. This thing, like the other toys, is beat up and dirty and just old. I should probably clean him up one day. But there he is, Cylon Centurion from Battlestar Galactica. All right. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed that a lot. So there's two toys from my childhood. I hope you like that. Those are some awesome things. I'm going to pick out some more next week and show off a Star Wars toy and a non-Star Wars toy and tell a little story about them. I hope you like that, and come back next week and we'll talk some more, okay? Until then, I am Ted, the old Star Wars nerd, here on Echo Base TV. See you next week.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Adega back with you on Echo Base Television, bringing you something else in preparation for the upcoming Halloween. This is one of two different videos that I have made in the past for covering the topic of vampires. I hope you enjoy it. Here we go. Dreams, almost always the same. The sound, the scene, and the cold. So terribly cold. Always in darkness, always in pains. Terror deep within takes hold. Dreadfully cold. Soon follows my confusion. A longing, a wanting, an unquenchable lust. Fear, panic, and the drive to flee. Only this desire is strong. I stay. I I must. Her soft, hypnotic voice holds me, dominates my mind. The touch of her lips brings on a paralyzing bind, then quieting cold. I feel the bite, the sting, and euphoria within. My blood spills out in a rush, and her feeding begins. This last dream was not quite the same. The sounds and scene in the cold, wonderfully cold. No more darkness, and no more pains. Hunger deep within takes hold, peacefully cold. At midnight, I wake. Was she not real? She rests beside me. Her cold skin I can feel. Was this a dream as I wake with blood on my hands? No. No, my vampire love now is in command.
Greetings, fellow YouTubers. I'm here to talk to you about when you're working on a video and trying to get that produced recording just right. We all have bloopers, but just strive to get it done the first time. You keep marching on and on and on, trying to get one thing right. The blunders, the tongue twisters. Sometimes it's a struggle, and sometimes a nightmare. The pain is real. Just when you think that all hope is lost, take a moment to center yourself and try Dave's Magic Tonic. That's right, Dave's Magic Tonic is infused with confidence and the ability not to care. Once you try Dave's Magic Tonic, you may not stop. When Dave shows up, it's party time. So throw out that pre-recorded video and just do it live! Dave will approve because Dave is always watching.
Hello everyone, Ted Dale Star Wars Nerd here. I hope you're doing well, and I want to thank you for joining me today as we're going to watch another fan film. Okay, well, this is Star Wars Heir to the Empire, Chapter 4, animated by Darth Angelus, written by Timothy Zahn. So, Darth Angelus, in case you don't know, is going through chapter by chapter of the book Heir to the Empire, and he's animating it all himself. He's doing the animation, he's not the only voice, he's got other voice people, he's got all the voices and everything, and it's awesome. He's doing a great job, so. But if you didn't know that, I don't know why you're starting at chapter 4, go back and watch the beginning. Anyway, so let's get to it, okay? I got it set up over here, so let's just go, alright?
I'm still not convinced this is really necessary.
Those must be
All
the
it's a
Salamari.
precaution, Captain. It's conceivable we could have trouble convincing him of who we are.
They're so cool.
We might have an easier time convincing him with a squad of stormtroopers along.
We might also have irritated him. A Dark Jedi's pride and sensibilities are not to be taken lightly, Captain.
You seem quite certain, sir, that this Guardian will be a Dark Jedi.
Who else would the Emperor have chosen to protect his personal storehouse?
Is that Mount Tantus?
Subtitles seem to be a little off.
Interesting. There are at least 3 styles of architecture here. Human plus 2 different alien species.
Any idea whether those alien species are hostile towards strangers?
Probably.
I seek the guardian of the mountain. Who will take me to him?
Hold.
One of your people just shot at us. Observe the consequences.
That's a no.
I will ask once more. Who will take me to the guardian of the mountain?
Who are you?
I am Grand Admiral Thrawn, warlord of the Empire. I seek the guardian of the mountain.
I will take you to him.
Stay close together. Be alert for a trap. I would have thought the guardian would be living in the mountain.
He did, once.
Oh, that is so cool.
When I began my role, the people of Wayland built this for him.
I see. So he is dead.
He is. I killed him. Just as I now kill you. You're not Jedi. How do you do this?
Join us and learn.
I am a Jedi Master. I join no one.
In that case, permit us to join you, and permit us to show you all the power a Jedi Master could desire. May I ask who we have the honor of addressing?
I am the Jedi Master Joruus C'baoth. You will now tell me how it was you defeated my attack.
It's quite simple, actually. These
are
creatures you see on our backs are called Isalamiri. They have an interesting and possibly unique ability. They push back the Force.
What do you mean, push it back?
They push its presence out away from themselves, much the same way a bubble is created by air pushing outward against water.
I've never heard of such a thing. How could such a creature come about?
I really don't know. Not that it matters. For the moment, the ability itself is sufficient for my purpose.
That purpose being to defeat my power?
We were expecting to find the Emperor's Guardian. I needed to make certain he would allow us to identify ourselves and our mission.
And that is?
All in good time. And only after we've had a chance to examine the Emperor's storehouse in Mount Tantis.
So the mountain is all you really want.
I need the mountain, certainly. Or rather, what I hope to find within it.
That being?
The Emperor's researchers developed a genuinely practical cloaking shield. I want it. And some other, almost trivial, pieces of technology.
And you think to find one of these cloaking shields in the mountain?
I expect to find either a working model, or at least a complete set of schematics. But I also require the partnership of a Jedi Master, like yourself.
Ah, we finally get down to it. This, I take it, is where you offer me all the power even a Jedi Master could desire.
Tell me, are you familiar with the Imperial fleet's disastrous defeat at the Battle of Endor 5 years ago.
I've heard rumors. One of the off-worlders who came here spoke about it, though only briefly.
Then you must have wondered how a few dozen rebel ships could possibly rout an Imperial force that outgunned it by at least 10 to 1.
I assume that the rebels were simply better warriors.
They fought better than the fleet, because the Emperor was dead.
Okay, well, we're going to cut it there. This is a very long episode. It's over 15 minutes long, so we're going to cut it here, right about in the middle part. So we know now that the planet that we're on is Wayland. We got to meet the Asalamiri that Thrawn keeps around his neck, and we got to meet Joruus C'baoth. And Thrawn got to show off what exactly the Asalamiri do to the Force. They keep it back from kind of like a protective bubble around him, so he can't be touched by anything that Joruus does with the Force. Can't be Force choked or anything like that. Just protected from it completely. And so that's why Thrawn wants to go get some more of them. But he also needs Joruus C'baoth for something. We got to learn a little bit of what Thrawn's plans were. He's looking for some big weapon inside the mountain. But we don't know why he wants a Jedi Master. We'll save that for the next episode. Come back then when we find out all about that, all right? Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Heir to the Empire, Chapter 4, written by Timothy Zahn and animated by Darth Angelus. Such a cool show, such a cool episode. He does such a great job with all the animations. I hope you come back and continue watching this with me. Next week we'll watch part 2, and we'll see more of Joruus C'baoth and Thrawn showdown, all right? So, for Echo Base TV, I am Ted, the old Star Wars nerd, here on Echo Base TV, where community happens, all right? You take care, and until next time, thanks.
Hey there, Echo Base TV. This is Master Paul, and this week we're going to talk a little bit about guitar. Now, you of course know that I have sung and played guitar, of course, on my own channel, as well as other channels that I have been guest of. And you've seen a couple of the guitars that I have, but I've never shown all of them off, and really haven't talked about them as far as how I got them and what they mean to me. So that's what we're going to do today. I have 6 guitars that we're going to show off, and we're going to start with the one that I got first. So, without further ado, this guitar right here is where we will start. This is my first ever full-sized guitar. It's made by the company Hohner out of Japan, and specifically it is an HG07 model. And I got this from my grandfather, I want to say when I was about 6 years old. It's the guitar that I have had the longest, and it has been well used and unfortunately abused at times, because you can see all the dents and scratches that I have put into it over the years, including one big one right about here, just because I was bored on that day. Unfortunately, I didn't know any better. And I really don't play this guitar anymore, unfortunately, because the strings are a little bit too high off the neck, like this, than what I'm comfortable with. But I plan to get that fixed at some point so I can put this thing back into use. But even in spite of all of that, this thing still has a great sound, and I'll demonstrate that for you. Just keep in mind the strings on this thing are very old and they are not in tune. But regardless of that, here's how it sounds. So yeah, just a little bit of something there for you. So that's pretty much this guitar. It's a little more than a decoration at this point, but I'd like to change that. So, moving on to this guitar. This is a fake Martin D28 Marquis, and it's a fake, I can tell, because number one, the logo is coming off up here, and number two, this doesn't have an official Martin serial number, because Martin usually keeps their serial numbers inside the body, up under the neck, like up here. But I still have this because this was the last guitar that my grandfather ever gave me while he was still alive. And this is the one guitar I constantly fight with myself back and forth over this, but at least as of right now, this is the one guitar that I would save from a burning building if I had the chance. If I could only carry out one, this would be it. And I don't really play this one that much either, but I get it out sometimes, and specifically, I keep it tuned a half step down from standard. So the guitar that you heard me play previously, that was in standard tuning. This one is what is called E flat standard, and I'll demonstrate that real quick. Just, again, keep in mind old strings. And just as a side note, I do sometimes like to play in E flat standard just to sort of give a whole different mood to the song. I think E flat standard gives it a more somber vibe to whatever song I'm playing. So that's this guitar. Next after that is what this guitar is attempting to be like. And it is this, which is a real Martin HD 28. I inherited this from my grandfather after his passing. In fact, this was one of two that I inherited from him. This was the first. And this, while he was alive, was his main guitar. He bought this brand new, I want to say in the year 2000. And he played this just about every chance that he could, especially when he took it with him to church. And now that it is mine, it has become my main guitar. And I have modified it a little bit. I put an electronic system in it so that I could plug it into an amplifier or a sound system to make it louder, which is very useful in church. And this guitar truly can do it all, from very hard strumming bluegrass like this, all the way to calm finger picking. And I know y'all will know this one right here. So yeah, a little bit of Stairway for you. So yeah, that's this guitar, and I have named it the Heirloom. Yep. I gotta be very careful with this stand. Don't want this thing to fall over. Alright, next guitar to talk about is the other guitar that I inherited from my grandfather. It is an Alvarez 12-string, and I absolutely love 12-string guitars because of the way that they sound, even if they are a little bit more challenging to play and get to a point where they play comfortably. In order to really play this one comfortably, I have to keep it tuned to E-flat standard, so that's what this one stays at almost all the time, although this one I have in a slightly different tuning, which I call drop C sharp. For those that know guitar, it's the same thing as drop D tuning, but it's tuned a half step down. And I have it in that tuning specifically because that's what I'm using to write the song for the legendary Tron. So I'll just demonstrate what that sounds like real quick. Not quite in tune, but it's passable for now. So that's that guitar. Next after that is the only electric guitar that I have, which is all the way back here. This is an Ibanez electric guitar. The specific model number is an Ibanez RG420 HP-FM. And the HP-FM part stands for High Performance Flame Maple. Flame maple being what the top is made of. Because you can see all those stripes in the top. That's the flame part of the maple, and this finish really makes it stand out. So, along with this, I of course do have a guitar amp that I use that I don't have in the room with me. That is a Boss Katana 50 Mach 2. Look that up, by the way, if you're interested. And of course, I can also plug this directly into my computer and use different programs on there to get just about any sound that I would want. So I'll demonstrate something like that for you right now. I'll do some clean stuff here on the bridge pickup. Very clean, very bright. Here's the neck pickup. A little bit warmer, and then here's both together. Now, there's a little switch right next to the main one, right here, and if I flip it, it makes it so that with each pickup, it's no longer both coils, it's only the inner one, which gives it a thinner, more Fender type sound, and I'll demonstrate that real quick. So here again is the bridge. Now the neck. And of course the middle, which sounds a lot like a Telecaster to me. And again, for those that know anything about guitar, it has a Floyd Rose style bridge, which allows you to do different whammy bar tricks, you know, like going down, dive bombing with it, or pulling up, which I won't do because it throws this thing out of tune. Basically all the Eddie Van Halen and Steve Vai tricks, if that's your thing, which I certainly cannot do. But yeah, as of now, this is my only electric guitar, but who knows, maybe I'll get another one in the future. And then the last guitar to talk about is this guy here, which I know you guys have seen before, my Ibanez 12-string. And I got this guitar for two reasons. Number one, I wanted a guitar, a 12-string that I could have in standard tuning so that I could keep my Alvarez 12-string in E-flat standard. And I wanted a guitar that I could take places, that was a cheaper guitar, and if something happened to it, I wouldn't feel too bad about it. So that's what this guitar serves. I don't have a name for this one yet, by the way, but I absolutely love this guitar. And of course, I'll, as always, demonstrate its sound. So yeah, between this one and my real Martin back here behind me, these are the two guitars that I play the most. And I love every single one of these guitars. I just wish I could play them all. So that is my entire guitar collection as it stands right now. I cannot stress this hard enough. This collection is likely to change at some point in the near or distant future. You might see one guitar not here anymore, or you might see a new one added to what I already have. You guys that are guitar players watching this, you know that's pretty much how the guitar player life is. The best way to describe it is the perfect amount of guitars to ever have is the number of the guitars that you currently have plus one. So with that, we're going to go ahead and close this video out. So thank you guys for watching this. Make sure, of course, to like and subscribe Echo Base TV, where this will be aired. And then, of course, like and subscribe on my channel, The Star Wars Guys. My brother Michael and I would greatly appreciate that. And we will see you guys later. Take care.
Nobody delivers perks like we do. Join our member family today.
Please subscribe to Coach's Jedi Archives and celebrate our favorite science fiction with us every day. Thank you.
Star Wars Theology. Episode 1. The Light Side of the Force. The light side of the Force relates to unselfishness and goodness for the spiritual essence, soul, or chi, depending on belief or faith system of interest. In Christianity, Buddhism, pantheism, Islam, the light side of the Force is easily identified in their respective religious or liturgical activities. No matter the specific religion of practice, the light side represents goodness, love, hope, faith, and family. Star Wars come into contact with the theology of the realistic world religions and reflect on them, touching the hearts of men and women worldwide. No matter which religion a Star Wars fan practices, for sure, Star Wars covers the elements of those religions in its movies, novels, and comic books. That is why Star Wars can unite people from many different backgrounds, beliefs, and political views, with its exciting space opera stories. The light side of the Force reflects on the integrity that humanity can strive for in each of the real-world religions. The Jedi Creed states there is no emotion, there is peace. There is no ignorance, there is knowledge. There is no passion, there is serenity. There is no chaos, there is harmony. There is no death, there is the Force. And remember, may the Force be with you always.
May the Force be with you
may
always.
the Force be with
And
you
remember,
always.
May the Force be with you always.
Hello, my name's Tim Rose, and I'm with you here at Echo Base today. I've had a great time, and I played Admiral Akbar in Return of the Jedi, The Force Awakens, and finally in The Last Jedi. But the one thing that I seem to be remembered more than anything else is, it's a trap!
Hi all, my name is Kieran, and I'm a Star Wars YouTube content creator. My YouTube channel is Star Wars Fits. The link is on the screen for both my YouTube and Rumble accounts. Also, please subscribe to Echo Base Network TV, Echo Base Network, and Coach's Jedi Archives. These are the most positive bunch of fans you will find on the net. Also, have a look at their merch store as well. Okay, let's get on with the show.
The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.
Today I want to talk to you about Darth Sidious, also known as Sheev Palpatine. He was born on the planet Naboo in 84 BBY. He was the senator of Naboo and rising to power in the Republic Senate. He had cultivated two identities, Sidious and Palpatine. He was secretly trained in the ways of the dark side of the Force by Darth Plagueis, when he eventually murdered him in order to train his own apprentice, Darth Maul. Darth Maul was assumedly killed by Obi-Wan Kenobi on Naboo, a planned invasion by Sidious in order to get the Senate to elect Palpatine as Supreme Chancellor of the Republic. This is where he came across a young Jedi Padawan called Anakin Skywalker, whom he would look at his career with great interest. He and Darth Tyrannus, Sidious's new apprentice, orchestrated the Separatist Crisis and the Clone Wars in an effort to achieve galactic dominance. He eventually caused the death of Darth Tyrannus by letting Anakin Skywalker kill him during his lightsaber fight. A short while later, Palpatine revealed himself to Anakin Skywalker as he discussed with him about the dark side of the Force. Anakin reported to Mace Windu that he believed that Palpatine was the Dark Lord they were looking for. Following the attempted arrest of the Chancellor by Mace Windu and several other Jedi, he enacted a great Jedi Purge and enacting Order 66, when the Throne Troopers murdered most of the Jedi. Not long after causing the death of Darth Tyrannus, he took on a new apprentice, having lured Anakin Skywalker to the dark side on the pretense he could save his wife from death, and transforms him into Darth Vader. Both their reigns remained unchallenged for nearly a generation until the formation of the Rebel Alliance to restore the Republic. During the Galactic Civil War, the Emperor sought to betray Vader by replacing him with his son, Luke Skywalker. However, his plan backfired when Vader renounced the dark side to save his son, and threw the Emperor into the reactor core, killing him. He died on the second Death Star in 4 ABY. Through his old master's teachings, Sidious transferred his essence to an imperfect clone vessel modeled on his original body. His plan culminated in the destruction of the New Republic and the rise of the First Order and the creation of Supreme Leader Snoke, who turned Ben Solo, son of Han and Leia Solo, to the dark side. When the Emperor announced his return to the galaxy in 35 ABY, the Resistance invaded the planet Exegol, Sidious's hidden stronghold in the unknown regions. Rey helped the Resistance locate a path through the unknown regions. During the battle, he discovered a dyad in the Force in the form of a bond between Ben Solo and Rey, the former rejecting the dark side and the latter being a Jedi apprentice of Luke Skywalker, and she was sired from the Emperor's bloodline. His lifelong dream of eternal rule was finally quashed when Rey called upon the strength of past Jedi to vanquish her grandfather by turning his own power against him, destroying Sidious and his Sith eternal cultists. Hopefully that will be the last we will see of Darth Sidious, but with Star Wars you will never know. Until the next time, subscribe to my channel and click on the notification bell, and don't forget to subscribe to Echo Base Network. Until the next time, may the Force be with you.
Small addition to that trimming. Here's the fat that I've trimmed off. I trimmed off some of this. I'll leave some of this there because I wanted to actually throw extra flavor. See this one here? Has a lot of the tendrils in it. I'm going to go off and see in that grain. This is where you would go off and see in a corned beef and see it break apart. I'm going to actually cut that up and put it as tidbits in for some jerky. But this one may end up getting cut into that eventually. But you can see where I've portioned it up to where I'll be able to work with it easier, cooker, marinated. Where I'm going to leave this bigger one. That way I can get bigger, longer slices after it's cooked.
Hey, I am Mr. Two Star Wars Nerds. At the time of this recording, the missus is actually taking care of the little one. But I actually have a very special friend and guest, Mr. X-Wing here.
What's up, man?
And for some of you watching this, you've actually seen this video in advance on Echo Base TV. But for the rest of you, welcome. We're going to be talking about my 3 favorite sound design decisions by Ben Burtt in A New Hope. So that actually ties in directly to the first sound design decision, and that is the sound of the lightsaber. Oh, yes.
Something fell off my desk. I'm sorry. It was bad sound design.
It's all. See, that's why we need sound design people, because they would make that sound so beautiful.
Yeah, crisp.
And so Ben Burtt, you know, when he is reading over the script and he's thinking about what a lightsaber would sound like, something that doesn't exist, mind you, like we all just can listen to it and just soak it in. He was really thinking about what this would sound like. And he
basically described this process where he was hanging out around this old 35 millimeter projector that he had, and he heard this hum, and he's like, "That there's just something electric and alive about it. When you fire up that projector, you hear it." And what is really fascinating is he's like, "Okay, that alone can't be the sound," but he's like, "This will be the bass." And then what's really fascinating is he actually found that with his old CRT, like tube TV, he was able to basically wave his electronic equipment and microphone in front of the TV, and he'd get that classic whom, whom
the
sound.
Feedback.
And it's just so interesting that he would find it. And so if you need it, we're going to play a clip right now so you can hear exactly what that sounds like.
You can't win, Darth. If you strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
So wonderful. We all love that sound. So Mr. X-Wing, please just brain dump about sound design. Talk to us about Ben Burtt and the lightsaber.
Yeah, so it goes back to what I was saying when we started, where this is organic. And I don't mean organic meaning it has to come like from the earth. These are just existing sounds that only in the brain of a sound designer are you going to find stuff like this. Like, only from a geek who sits next to a projector and think like, man, that sounds kind of sci-fi. Right. Or they remember from when they were a kid and they hit a telephone pole with a stick and they're like, ooh, that sounds kind of sci-fi. And it goes back to their brain. And to be able to meld those sounds together to create something so iconic, like you said, if I hit this button, you know exactly what sound is going to come from that. Yeah. And in modern day movies, they pull from existing stock. Whereas when it happened back then, this was all fresh. It was all new and everything was created from scratch. And that's what I love so much about it.
Yeah. And I think you described it perfectly. Like Ben Burtt's whole design, it was really to take real world sounds and manipulate them and even maybe add some like electronic sound and to create something new that like we've never heard before. And he made the lightsaber real.
Yeah.
I love that you said, like, when you hit that button, you know what sound to expect. Like, you know exactly how it's going to sound. And I seriously, I don't know. I'm just so grateful, that somebody like Ben Burtt was on this project. Like,
and it does it as weird as it is, like you're igniting a laser sword. And it doesn't sound wrong or funky. Like, it doesn't sound out of place. It sounds totally like, yeah, that's probably what that would sound like. Yeah.
Yeah. So going right into my personal number 2 is Luke Skywalker's land speeder. Oh, this is so cool. Here's the clip, just so you can hear what it sounds like if you need remembering.
Look, there's a droid on the scanner. Dead ahead. Might be our little R2 unit. Hit the accelerator.
And so what's really cool about this one in particular is like you said, Ben Burtt would hear these sounds and be like, you know what that sounds like? A land speeder. And so where he lived in LA, in Orange County, and there's a Los Angeles Harbor Freeway. And somehow in this beautiful mind of his, he thought, I'm going to take a vacuum cleaner pipe, I'm going to stick a microphone in it, and I'm going to record the freeway. And like, that is exactly what we get. And it blows my mind. Not only that this to me is, I don't want to say more interesting than the lightsaber, because the lightsaber is iconic, but this fascinates me more because I'm like, how did you come up with the idea to record it through a vacuum
tube? That just shows the ingenuity, right? Because it wasn't, those were natural sounds he could just record, but this was altering a natural sound to make it sound the way he wanted. And what's funny is, for me, with Luke's land speeder, when I hear it, and I know you can picture this in your brain, so I've had to get off of a couple planes walking onto the tarmac, and that whine of that turbine engine is what I hear when I hear Luke's land speeder. And what's funny is, when you look at his land speeder and you look at the engines, they look like little Boeing 747 engines. And so that was always the comparison that I drew there. And then to find out that it was actually a freeway with a vacuum tube, I'm like, I was way oversimplifying, or maybe he was just way overcomplicating it, because it sounds like perfectly like that, like some kind of futuristic jet on a runway.
Dude, and what's so incredible is, like you said, the ingenuity for him to understand how sound frequencies work, to be like, I can get this exact sound using this equipment. And I mean, it's just like, here's a vacuum cleaner pipe. Yep, this works perfect. Stick the microphone in. And Ben Burtt was one of these guys where he would call, everywhere he went, he had a recorder with him. So he's always recording sounds, and this is just so cool to me.
It's like a good photographer. You don't go anywhere without your camera. But I wonder how many people were driving down the freeway like, what is that guy doing? He's got a vacuum tube and a microphone, just like.
Oh, hey. You notice I'm recording audio.
So right into number 3. This one is actually my personal favorite because I find this so fascinating. So when you're thinking about the attack on the Death Star and the trench run, you have a lot of these scenes where you're switching from fighter pilot to fighter pilot. You're in multiple different cockpits, and there's this sound, this undercurrent hum the whole time. And this is it. Let's play this so you can hear it, and we'll revisit it.
All wings reporting. Red 10 standing by.
Red 7 standing by.
Red 3 standing by. Red 6 standing by.
Red 9 standing by.
Red 2 standing by.
Red 11 standing by.
Red 5 standing by.
So that right there, if you picked it up, there is this high pitch frequency that is just playing the whole time. And what happens every time you change camera positions and you're looking at a different fighter pilot, you actually have this pitch going up or down. And what's so smart about this is when Ben Burtt originally, he put this single hum, and when he watched things back, he was like, you know what, everything is just too similar. And when you're watching it back, there's not a clear distinction between pilots. And so he actually assigned certain frequencies to pilots. Like Wedge has his own, Luke has his own. Like, it's such a brilliant idea. And I mean, X-Wing, like, bro, like, obviously you're a huge fan of X-Wing and Wedge, but like, I know when we've talked about this, like, I wish I could have just like recorded us like geeking out earlier about it. It was so cool.
Yeah. It goes right back to the beginning when I said a lot of the stuff they do is unseen, unnoticed, and unappreciated, because it wouldn't sound weird unless you heard all of them sounding the same. And when you go back and listen, you completely take it for granted that these little segments cut with the pitch change completely changes your aspect, and it individualizes each pilot in every canopy, because you can't do a shot where, you're pulling out and you're seeing different markings on each X-Wing, or you're pulling out and you're seeing, you just can't do that. And so for him to think like that creatively, like, well, how do we differentiate each pilot? Like, oh, we'll just change the pitch. Different engines, they're running at, different RPMs. It's just so ingenious, and the creativity, and I mean, that runs through everybody in the original trilogy, from the the model makers, everybody. The ingenuity that went into the original trilogy is just unmatched in any cinema ever, in my opinion. You could argue with me, but you'd lose, but that's how I feel.
I feel like that should be like a tagline of yours. You can argue with me, but you'll lose. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, and we were talking about Interstellar as well. Another movie with great sound design, where in my opinion, I don't think you would get the sound design of Interstellar and other Christopher Nolan films without the work of Ben Burtt in the 70s and 80s. But in Interstellar, you have this tick that's there. And you said it was what, every second?
1.25.
Yeah, every 1.25 seconds. There's this tick, and that ticking represents a year on Earth.
I don't remember if it was a month or a year, but it was something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's the whole point was to like show this time elapsing and how different these worlds were. And to me, it's like, I think that wouldn't be possible without these very, very deliberate sound decisions, where somebody could have easily wrote them off and just said, hey, it's just a space plane, like, just make it sound good, right? But instead he went above and beyond and like completely changed the way we listen to film. It's incredible.
Yeah. And I think, something we were talking about before we even started was the thing that I love most about sound design and like we were talking about with Interstellar and everything else, is that you're never told how do you even phrase it? You're never told what to think about it. They never tell you how to interpret it. You're never told what to think. It just happens, and you either catch it and you analyze it, or you let it completely pass by. And I think that's what's so beautiful about it. It's just such an interesting art because it's so unexplored and it's so beautiful. That's what I love about it so much.
And I think that's just a telltale sign that it was done well, that you don't even realize
if you never notice it.
Like,
isn't that horrible?
You like the idea that Ben Burr, he wants his work to be so perfect or so well received that it's actually, you could never know like that it's there. And I'm just thinking, like, I wonder what secrets he's holding, where he's like,
right,
you know, I threw that in for me, you know, and like, no, maybe there's like a small group that knows. That would be the cool stuff to know, man. That would be.
There's just something, it's so samurai, like so Bushido, so just for my art to be perfect, someone should never know that it existed.
Yeah. Dude, crazy.
It's deep.
Yes. But hey, at this point, this is my personal top 3. Let me know in the comments below what you think about these, or if you have a different top 3, if you're really into sound design. Please go sub to X-Wing and give myself a sub if you enjoy this kind of content. We're just 2 sweaties who love Star Wars.
So sweaty.
Simply put. But hey, with that, I'm Mr. 2 Star Wars Nerds.
I'm X-Wing.
Oh, I pointed the wrong way. That's X-Wing.
Oh, come on, get it right.
I'm Mr. 2 Star Wars Nerds. That's X-Wing. And may the Force be with you.
Okay.
Here, we got to get this.
No, it's so perfect.
May the Force be with you. Always.
I got to get used to the new broadcasting software, guys. Got to get used to it. So, you know, this gets better every week. That's what I was saying. This gets better every single week. And, you know, wow. We started 3 weeks ago, and it was a 10 out of 10, A+. It got better the next week, and then week 3 here is even better. So give it up for everybody that that contributed. Thank you for all the viewers here watching. It is such an awesome time to spend together in this community and look at the great content that our community puts out. And we want to grow this thing, and we want to make Echo Base TV where community happens. We want to make this, guys, the goal is we make this bigger than Echo Base Network. And we do this 5 nights a week. That's what we would like to do. Well, I mean, we're dreaming big, right? What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. We may not ever get there, but we're dang sure going to try. You know, one day, Echo Base Network could literally disappear and just become Echo Base TV. And our Star Wars segments be on there too. You know, this is just such a cool thing that we are doing. Not me, not Nick. All of us are doing here at Echo Base TV. And, you know, it's unique and you can't find it anywhere else. So, yeah, that's what we're doing. We're going to bring it. And, you know, speaking of bringing it, we posted content tonight. Nick did a really good video tonight about the Marsha Lucas comments. We will be back for Thursday night on our regularly scheduled Echo Base Network live stream show. Did you like the new production that I used tonight? Did you like the no to the no Echo Base Network? Well, I mean, this is still Echo Base Network. Kapuya! So let me get your thoughts about the visuals, and this is what we're going to do for the pre-show and everything. Come next week or come Thursday. So we're going to make this thing look good for everybody, and we're really excited about it. Thank you guys for being here, on my birthday. Sci-Fi Master, that's definitely what's happening right now. I'm just saying potentially down the future where it could merge, but we're nowhere near that. We're just talking right now, and you might be right. That may never happen, and they may be side by side. Because right now, Echo Base Network is strictly a Star Wars channel. And this is everything else. This is entertainment and Star Wars stuff that you guys make. And it's just great. It is just great. So thank you for the birthday wishes. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, guys, anyways, again, I want to say thank you to all of the content creators for doing all this, and it is such a pleasure for us to put together and get out. So, anyways, if you want to head over to Discord, I'm sure we'll have many members there. Myself, I am going to end this stream and spend a few minutes with the girls before they go to bed and get ready for school tomorrow. I will be streaming all day long on Thursday and Friday, Diablo 2. Do you not know what Diablo 2 is? Do you not? Do you not? It's this right here. Check it out. That, my friends, is Diablo 2. And it is going to be absolutely fantastic. You do not want to miss it. So I will be back. I will be back with everybody. Post a one in chat if you're not a mod. Everybody who contributes to the content at this point has gotten a mod or gotten a wrench. If we grow, who knows? Maybe one day we take all that away. I don't know. This is just something that we're doing to start with. But thank you guys for being here, and y'all are so funny. So anyways, last time, thank you guys so much for being here. It means a lot to me. I look forward to these nights with you because I get to kick back and sit back and just watch everybody's great content and giggle and laugh and read the chat and all of that. So really appreciate you guys, and we're going to go ahead and end this thing now. We are Echo Base TV, where community happens, and I will see you Thursday night over at Echo Base Network, where we are and you are, Echo Base Network, and I will see you guys later. All right, guys. Love y'all. Y'all be good, and we will see y'all very, very soon. Coach is the handsome one. Coach is the handsome one. He's so smart and brilliant. Nick, he's dog food. Love you guys. And humble. Let's start that hashtag movement tonight. I'm Dale's Tacos. Nick is Taco Bell.